He will be a part of our panel discussion right now, final panel discussion for today, which will put the spotlight on the ripple effect, how tech-enhanced customer experiences extend beyond the transaction. So please put your hands together and help me in welcoming our distinguished panel on stage. He is managing partner 100watts.tech. Please welcome our moderator, Ajay Aggarwal. Come on, guys, can we have a round of applause? I know it's the end of the day, but that's where we need your energy. He is Director and Chief Executive Officer, PN Gadgil Sons. Please welcome Amit Modak. She is Director Consulting at Deloitte India. Please welcome Smita Muraka. He is Chief Executive Officer, Chogori India Retail Limited, Columbia Sportswear. Please can you please put your hands together in a collective round of applause to welcome them on stage as I hand over to our distinguished moderator, Mr. Ajay Aggarwal.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. I think we need another round of applause for two ladies in this panel. First time. Thank you. So, last 3-4 years, post-pandemic, retail was completely disrupted because the customer habits were changing. Though traditionally every brand was running a loyalty program from the point of view of giving a, token customer experience to their customers. But in reality, the customer experience was missing. But in the last 3-4 years, as the customers have disrupted, channels have opened, new brands have come up. So there is a real pressure on every brand. And everybody is now looking at purposefully seeing how to build a genuine and purposeful experience for their customers beyond just a buying and shopping experience. And I think that's where a lot of personalization, a lot of technology, a lot of data is coming into picture. And category-wise, there are differentiations in how to build that personalization, how to create those kind of experiences. And that's where I think there is a new excitement in this whole space of customer experience. So what I'll do to start with, I will pick, and we are very lucky today to have such a diverse panel in terms of brands and categories, food, apparel, pharma, and also dessert. So I think that's a very interesting category. So let me pick 3 brands to start with. Ankur, Bidyut, and maybe Priyanka. You 3 are into lifestyle brands, and you have a different, unique requirement in terms of building that experience for your customers. From the point of view of post-transaction, how do we build? So why don't you just explain to us and just tell the audience what kind of experiences you are trying to deliver, and especially your brands will require a lot of, influencer business from the marketing point of view to connect with the consumers. And you're also very omni-channel driven. So it will be interesting to know what kind of activities and processes you're following. Let's start with Priyanka.
So thank you so much for the question, Ajay. I think it's a really good question and a lot of points to answer. So a little bit about what we do. We are a 60-plus-year-old legacy eyewear brand. And our brand has grown organically for 60 years because of customer service. And I think that has been the fundament of why, we've been in the market for so many generations. I remember my grandfather back in the day when we had one store in Gariahat, Calcutta. He learnt Bengali, coming from a non-Bengali background, only because he could connect with the customer's heart, connect with him, make him feel comfortable, make him feel trusted. So I think it goes a lot more beyond transaction. One is, of course, in our eyewear business, we rely, once the product is ready, the lens is fitted into the frame, we need to deliver the product to the customer, and that is the most joyful experience. We have an anecdote where there is a customer who was living in the inlands of Tamil Nadu, and was our customer. He came to our Bangalore store, and he wanted, his glasses to be, he said that, I'm staying in Tamil Nadu, maybe I will come sometime and I'll pick it up. So we decided, our store manager decided that he wanted to make the delivery special. And he traveled overnight for 60 kilometers to deliver the product in person to his customer. And I think when you do something like that, your customer is your customer for life, because just taking that initiative, and he did it on his own. So again, our brand, it's very simple. Our value system is very simple. You just treat your customer like God and do whatever you can best for him, and I'm sure he will remember it. So, thank you.
Let's come to Ankur.
So I'll right away jump into the exact topic. Yes, technology is important. I think when we are selling Columbia Sportswear in India or any other brand which we operate in for the India market, technology is at the heart of it, because I think out of the customer, the technology and the brand, technology is moving the fastest. And whether it is selling or post-purchase analysis or post-purchase reaching out to the consumer, everything these days has a technology platform or backdrop, without which we can't really justify any ROI in the business. So in terms of reaching out to the consumer, in terms of post-purchase customer satisfaction scores, in terms of reaching out to the consumer, again, for a different kind of a product, everywhere there is technology, within the business. So yeah, that's like the summary of it.
So Bidyut, you are into Ethnix, and again, a very different category. What is your experience and what is your approach to delivering that experience?
Yeah, so we are an occasion wear brand and a pretty young brand at that. But we as a company, Raymond as a company has multiple divisions there. So we do have a lot of first party data which we have with us. Now what it helps us to do is it helps us to segment our consumers into different boxes. There are people who are buying for occasions, there are people who want to attend something they're buying for that occasion. And therefore we can create very customized kind of messaging to them. And that sort of helps us to create a very relevant occasion from the customer's life to come into our store, walk into our store. Secondly, we also do a lot of cross-selling across different categories. So for example, we know for sure nowadays when somebody is getting married, they don't buy a single garment. They buy multiple garments. There are multiple occasions in a marriage today. Actually, there are 4 main occasions. 3 of them are ethnic wear, where we cater to it. And 1 is actually a Western wear suit, which the person buys. And normally the destination is Raymond. Now, if somebody is bought from us, we tend to reach out to them saying, hey, we also have a suit division. We also have a Raymond shop. You can walk into there and get your reception Western wear stitched there. Sometimes when somebody comes into a Raymond shop saying that I'm getting a suit from a marriage, he is then targeted, and we try and say that, hey, we also have a nice collection of Indian ethnic wear, And since we are a very new brand, young brand for Raymond, it helps us to reach out to the relevant kind of customers through this kind of segmenting which we do, and helps us to sort of also cross-sell between different categories and different usage occasions in the life of the consumer. So that is one part of it. The second part of it is that we have now automated part of our messaging, where actually on WhatsApp you get a bot, and there are 4 or 5 occasions listed there. So attending a friend's marriage, attending a housewarming, and for each, when you click on that, you actually are taken to a landing page which has the relevant products on a carousel. So you can browse, and if you really want to buy, and there's a call to action button, you buy that, it actually takes you to a landing page which is myraymond.com, where you can go and actually pick up something which is a shoppable website. So a lot of data and technology helps us in segmenting the customer and doing a customized messaging to them. And that helps us in actually making the messaging very relevant to the consumer.
So let me now come back to Mr. Modak, one of the oldest jewelry brand, and jewelry is a category which works on high trust, from the point of view of customer retention. What are your ways of building that trust with your customers?
See, jewelry brand always works on trust. Ours is a 190-year-old brand, running with 7th generation of original promoters. Trust building is a one thing. Nowadays, once that trust has got built, because it's a 190-year-old brand, so building again some trust is not now a task for us. Our task is something different. Giving them beyond that trust some additional experience that you have got trust on us. So generation together, 3-4 generation together, you are coming to us. Your past 3-4 generations are coming to us. Now what we are different from others, just other than the trust. There are many things which we do, and those are done in the normal course of business. No separate efforts are required to be taken. If somebody is coming at the counter and start buying, then from his or her mobile number we track what she or he has bought earlier. And just we start talking, yes madam, you purchased 2 years back one necklace of say 70 gram, 80 gram, it was studded, whether it's everything is okay, all studded things are at place, nothing is required. If anything is required, please do come to us, we will maintain it, we will refurbish it and give it to. She gets surprised how that salesman is knowing that I have purchased 2 years back something, because salesmen are changing and saleswomen are changing. So she gets surprised that she is talking to me in personal sense and giving me feeling that she knows what I have purchased earlier and what I can require to get service. Or if somebody is buying say wedding band, and marriages are after 1 year, 2 years, 1.5 years, we keep on tracking, calling them that is everything is okay. When you are planning for buying the wedding jewelry, new varieties have come. So please do come visit the shop and take a look at the variety. Not necessary you need to order right now, but you can have look and you can start choosing the things. And moreover, that technology is helping us. Just now, as I said, that what she has bought 2 years back, I can readily give her reference and surprise. There are certain personalized things in jewelry industry specifically, beyond technology. As I said, faith is there because it's a 190-year-old brand, so faith building is not required separately. But giving some personal things, like if some couple is shopping and if we find that their marriage anniversary is there or any one of them birthday is there, we ring a bell inside the showroom and say this couple or this person has got anniversary or birthday, and give them cake and click the photo and celebrate it. Many times the person in the age group of 60 to 70, if couple is there, they get surprised because their anniversary or birthday is not getting celebrated within their family also, and in our shop it is getting celebrated. So, and along with the ready cake which is there for cutting and all these things. So they get surprised and they get that experience, and it's our business is nowadays mouth publicity business. So we need to add on the customer which are not there as on date, and we need to add them. So that kind of experience. One very small experience I can share with you. One guy, lady purchased one finger ring from Prabhadevi shop at Mumbai. It was a Kachua kind of design was there. It's a silver ring. Cost wise, it was hardly 100, 200 rupees. She came to our own shop in Pune and she was inquiring about that ring, and that ring was not in stock. So I was standing aside. I just asked her, what is your address? Please let me know. I will deliver it to you. But she said, how you will collect payment? I said, madam, payment is not matter. Your requirement fulfilling is matter. And your daughter wants same ring. That is my duty to provide her same ring. She got so delighted. She said, I never come here for the plain gold jewelry. I came always for the fashion jewelry. But I will definitely keep in mind that this is the place where I should shop in future for my plain gold jewelry requirement also.
Thank you for such a lovely. So before I bring, others food retailers on board, Smita, you wearing your consulting hat, what is your view on whatever you've heard and what is happening in these segments?
Yeah, firstly, I'm very excited to be the consultant, the only consultant on this diverse set of brands. Really interesting mix. So yeah, the topic today is very relevant, right? Consumer expectation beyond transaction has become very high, right? How do you serve that? It is imperative that there is technology to serve that, right? And loyalty has also become something that can't be controlled. So, but it is important that brands focus on engaging with their consumers post-transactions also. Brands today spend a lot on acquiring a consumer, and that is only going up, right? But then how do you engage with the consumer post the transaction? So for example, some of the brands that spoke, so for Priyanka GKB, she gave a very interesting anecdote on learning Bengali to engage with the consumer. Now imagine reaching out to the whole of India in 50 plus languages. How do you do that? Today we have technology and social media and digital media to do that, right? When it comes to Columbia Sports, there is a huge community that can be formed that is happening, and that is the reason why consumers will come back or speak to their friends, like-minded people, and buy more of the brand. So today, consumer experience is not only about loyalty, it is about a lot of community building, after sales, getting consumer engagement, and all this is possible through technology. So really growth of a brand, it's almost imperative that you focus on your existing consumer base versus just acquisition. And the possibilities are endless. We also have Gen AI today in areas, whether it's content management, whether it is again about after sales, engaging with your consumers to really respond to problem solving. So the opportunity and the availability of technology is endless, but it is very important to really understand what you need right now and put that in force. And then, there is a whole national footprint that you can get through it.
Thank you. So coming to you, Sheetal and Ashraf Bhai, and in terms of, you are pharma, where the experience needs are completely different. It's a category which is different. Whereas Sheetal, you are again into a leisure category, which is growing. What are your ways of, of building that whole customer experience?
Sure. Thank you, Ajay. It's a beautiful question, and a very good evening to all of you. I know it's the last session of the day and practically everybody is at the last tether end. But trust me, if you guys want to know something about medicine, I'm the medicine guy. So we run the pharma business, and I'm very sure.
In the evening, in this time, people need different medicine,
Yeah, I know. But after this session, they can try that medicine also. So let me take my conversation forward. So blessed to be in this space. Currently, we are pharmacy retail, the third largest in India. Have around 500 stores and building it strong. How technology has helped us, I cannot actually describe in words. And if I start describing the entire detail, probably this session would be lesser time there for me to describe. So let me just give you the basic milestones, how it has been so important for us. First and foremost, when a customer comes for medicine, it is all about trust. Yeah. Now we try to see how best to serve the customer in terms of availability and in terms of giving him service 24/7. Now, when I say availability, we have more than 3 lakh items of pharmacy in our drug formulary across 500 stores, and we run very large hospital pharmacies. What happens in case if somebody comes for a medicine, we have a store lookup where at a click of a button, I can tell you whether this medicine is available or not, where it is available, what quantity it is available, and what is the expiry date. Now, trust me, for us, probably people who have not ever gone through an emergency doesn't understand how important that information can be. And we have cases, a team of them, and so glad that we have been able to serve them with the help of technology. I would just like to share a very, very recent example, which is there very fresh in my mind because just happened around 10 days before. I was at my Andheri Chakla store, and in the morning a patient came with a prescription of injection intraglobulin. I'm a pharmacist, so maybe these names and all would be foreign to you. That drug was to be used for a pregnancy. His wife was pregnant. It was a difficult pregnancy and he needed that drug to be used. Now the people were from Amsterdam. It was an Indian couple based out of Amsterdam and they wanted the medicine to be carried to Amsterdam. Now first thing first, it's a difficult medicine. It is not a regular medicine. When we searched it, we found it that it was available at a pharmacy opposite KM Hospital. We assured the customer that we can give it to you. Now the customer had another requirement. How do I carry it to Amsterdam? Because that is a cold chain protected medicine. We actually researched on the web. We understood how to take it forward, spoke to the airlines. We got that special pack organized for him. But more than important, we could get that injection to him on time. And he has sent a testimonial in a beautiful thanking letter from Amsterdam. I'm just trying to connect to you by telling you how technology is so important because at a click of a button, we could locate that injection. We could see how to actually put it into the right form of packaging and give it to the patients. Now, just to take this example, extrapolation, all the orders just because of technology at midnight, 98% of our stores are day and night. At a click of midnight, all the orders are automatically processed and sent to a distribution center in Bhiwandi, which is state-of-the-art 1 lakh square feet store. All the orders are automatically processed there and sent to our stores. It would not have been possible if we didn't have the help of technology. So for us, that has been, what you call the Holy Grail. I can't put it in more words, Holy Grail, and we really, really believe in investing in technology, and we also believe how do we take this to the last mile in customer experience. I think we all are retailers here. It's a very beautiful panel. I'm very proud to be sitting on this discussion here. Everybody in retail, I say, wants to have better customers. According to me, better customers would only come, according to my belief, in one sentence, and that is customer experience. How can you give your customer the best experience? If that is one single sentence and everybody in the company runs for that, including technology use, including people use, just see how to improve the customer experience. I think if we can do that with the help of technology, I'm very sure you have loyalty programs which you can track, you have internet usage you can track, you can go on Google, you can track. There are tons of digital tools today where it can immensely help you to have that customer journey tracked, build beautifully well, execute that, and give it the best customer experience possible. From our side, we use technology extensively. We have something called as custodian of availability. We have a number on our website. If you call that number, it is connected to a 24/7 health center. If any medicine is not available in your local area, if anybody calls on that number, it goes to a team over there. The team has got all India data of all the distributors. Now that would not be possible without technology help. And that person searches that and informs the customer, yes, this is available and in this time we can make it available for you. And in case if it is not available, there is a team of pharmacists who would suggest an alternative if it is there. Now again, use of technology. So I cannot actually put in words how important it is to use that as a cutting edge in your business to give the best customer experience. To me, technology is something which we really believe in. Investing in technology is an investment for us, never an expense. That's how I would like to put it across.
Sheetal, thank you. Sheetal, you are a new brand, you know.
Yes.
How are you creating that bond with as compared to other competition brands?
I think it's a great extreme panel, and like the desert ends with the desert, I think I'll take that opportunity. Food as a category, if you look at it, the consumption matrix in the human body happens in three major aspects. One is your impulse purchase, your impulse quotient, hunger quotient, and the happiness quotient. I think ice cream comes into the category wherein the first two, that is the impulse and the hunger, both these two quotients are met. So probably ice cream consumption or the dessert is kind of a leisure, luxury. It happens to be there in the happiness space. I think we've been able to create a beautiful niche for ourselves. We are a young brand. We are a 9-year-old brand, to be precise. We are currently 90 odd outlets in 23 odd cities. We'll be looking at an expansion of around 150 odd outlets in the next 18 months or so. The idea, what we have been able to do is that I think technology helps you to be on your toes. So far, I think the best technological tools everybody has explained. I would like to little bit leave it at that place out there. But what actually differentiates us is the shareable experience. If anybody are able to, I mean, maximum time is spent on acquisition of the customer and the retention of the customer. What everybody misses out is at the store level transaction which happens. We have technology, everything is there. But at the store level, if we are not able to create that shareable experiences, any kind of technology will not be that much. I mean, it will be just another analytical tool which will be there, which will exist there in Excel sheets. Just to give an example, sorry, I'm just taking a minute. We had opened a store in Kondapur. It's a suburb in Hyderabad. So we had this affluent family visiting along with their one, mother or a senior lady out there. She wanted a sugar-free ice cream. So somehow I was there. Because I was there, the store manager out there was a little bit over-enthused, and he said, okay, I will supply it to your house, ma'am. Now, apparently this lady had a sweet tooth and she happened to collect the number. She wanted it, every week or, 10 days once. Somehow we managed to do that. But it so happened that every month on 25th, there is a kitty of 25 old ladies and pensioners at our place, which leaves a beautiful experiences. I think that's when we share these kind of beautiful experiences. That's when I think we are able to connect that.
So before we go into the next round of discussion, perhaps I want to bring you in. You heard the story of all the retailers and they all run stores. What is your view in terms of you enable stores in terms of building different experience or enable them to deliver great experiences? What is your experience? And you presented that you work with the international brands and you have enabled them to bring the experience different level. What is your inputs on this?
Yeah, I think it's, very glad to see that the consumer is center of almost all the businesses here. But one area which is getting not the attention that it deserves is the actual space where the experience is being curated. So whether it's a restaurant or a retail outlet, if that physical space is not aligned with the brand standards, certainly it is going to discount the overall experience. And we have seen small issues like, for example, store being too hot, resulting in consumer not feeling the best experience, even though the product was available, but he may not be fully satisfied. We have seen sometimes the POS machine itself not being up because the UPS drained out. Because last night somebody forgot to, switch on the DG set, which was supposed to charge. There was so these are small things which we have seen can damage some of the effort that's been put on the consumer side. And if we apply a bit of technology on this side and make the spaces visible to the team just the way the consumer is visible, I'm sure a lot of good ideas will come on how to prevent such episodes from happening.
I have some questions at one of the discussions we've had. But before that, I thought I'll ask if you have any questions. We can start with those and then we can go to other questions. Then we'll also get to understand if you have any questions here, how much time do we have. Does anybody have any questions in terms of... So I think one of the things which I have is, and especially to our first set of, lifestyle retailers, is that you guys spend a lot of money on marketing through influencers, and you also put a lot of focus on loyalty programs. And when we talk of personalization, today a lot of brands, I've understood that they are trying to use data to discover influencers within their own loyalty base, rather than spending money on professional influencers, how you can utilize those budgets within your own customer base and make the brand much more stronger with the actual users and actual people who are experiencing the brand. What is your view? Maybe, anybody can share their views on this.
So I'll take that. When you're talking about influencers, your own consumers becoming your influencers. So I talked about a little while ago how you segment your consumers and then you create an engagement with them. The more engaged your consumer is with your brand, the more number of times they visit your store, they visit your website, they visit you online. And if you're able to delight them at some point of time, the first point of thing comes in your store review. Either the staff is very friendly or the staff is very good. That's the first point when they are becoming your influencers, because as they give you a 4 or 5 rating, and as consumers are searching for your stores online, because today any purchase journey starts from a scanning online. You go online and you try to find out where is the best sherwani available, where is the best kurta available. And when you see a brand there and you see the review being 4 or 5, that is when you first generate your own consumer being your influencer. Another thing which we are trying to do is we are trying to now get hold of, I won't say it's a contest, but it's sort of a way to engage the consumers. And we dress them up and we actually see, you can hashtag your photos along with hashtagging our brand. And then maybe the top 5 guys get the ensemble free or something like that. But as a result, we are getting a lot of content. Now people today do not just hashtag a picture. They will create a reel. If it's a marriage, or if they're dressing up, it has to be a reel. It has to be with your spouse or with your partner. So it creates a lot of content for us by default. And these are consumer created content, which has a much higher validity than paid influencer, like what you said. So that's something which you're very closely working with, trying to engage more and make this brand a part of their daily life so that they come back and talk about it in their social media. And somewhere if they can hashtag us, then it helps us build a brand.
Smita?
Yeah. So I just want to add, the consumer journey has changed drastically, right? Earlier, the consumers would just see a piece of advertising and want to shop. Today, the consumers are investing a lot more time in making decisions and priding themselves in it, right? So they see some advertising which is brand-led. Then they want to see influencers. And why did influencers get popular? Because they were more real. They could be connected, right? So they want to hear those influencers. And then they spend a lot of time on reading the online reviews. For example, on Amazon, if the reviews are below 4, the product would not have so much salience. So the amount of time a consumer is spending on researching and understanding the product and the brand and then transacting has really increased, right? And therefore, it's no more so much only loyalty, it's about brand advocacy. You have to invest in building your consumers becoming advocates for your brands, because real opinion is what is really getting consumed, and consumers don't stop at just plain push advertising. So the whole journey has to be understood, and going back to the topic, tech probably is the only imperative that helps you solve for that.
Yeah, Ankur, Bidyut said that, we wait for customers to do reviews.
Yeah.
Review is one thing. How does the brand react after the reviews? How do you reward the customer post-review? I think that's where the journey continues. It just not stops there,
No, of course, I agree completely. Both sides, advocacy is as important as customer reviews. See, essentially, it's about creating a chain of information about the brand or the product, and that's what brands like us completely rely on, because there is very limited amount of money which you can spend on marketing. And if you have all of these influencers who are doing free word of mouth influencing for you, then it becomes that much easier for a brand, because then you don't need to spend so much on marketing. And that's the end goal. But unfortunately, unfortunately, if we start with say 100 consumers, by the time we reach brand advocacy, there are only a few handful of consumers left. And that is why brands like us have to rely on influencers who have like millions of followership and who create a lot of good content which is seen by a lot of people. Again, the underlying principle is technology, because they are sharing their content either on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. So that becomes a real good platform for us to, like a lot of brands, not just us, to promote their products, because that's where the young consumers are, that's where the target audience is actually. And it becomes really relevant. No matter whether we like it or not, these influencers become a key.
Yeah. What about you, Sheetal?
I think influencers are here to stay, and they're going to stay for quite some time. Especially in food industry, I think the most frequented or the most visited site or indulgence happens to be food, and every kind of food happens, be it Insta, Facebook, Twitter, or anything. The inclination of every human mind is first to the basic instinct of food, I think, and influencers are having their way in a very beautiful way on that. In fact, I can go to an extent that for the last 6 months, my entire budgets have been only towards digital marketing, and that too mostly towards influencers. I think the kind of influencers, I mean, each market and segment, I think everybody has their say into it. So I think it will continue for quite some time to come.
Priyanka, what is your view on this in this aspect? Because you also spend a lot of money in visibility, right? Brand visibility.
So our business model works a little differently. I know for specifically food or hospitality or travel, influencer marketing is the key. For us, however, I feel it has been a mixed response for an optical business. We do highlight influencers. However, we're facing a bit of a, because our category is so niche, and influencers nowadays are promoting everything and anything. It's difficult to find influencers in a very niche category like eyewear. So I would say for our segment, it's growing, but it's not as important, or I would say we are not being able to channelize influencers as much as other categories are at the moment.
Mr. Modak, yours is a family brand, you know. Everybody in the family uses it. Why do you use only film stars for promoting your brand? But you told such nice stories where you actually can carry the brand of the family in a different way. My company is PN Gadgil Sons Limited. We have not yet used any film industry person for advertising our product. We always say our product itself is a celebrity. So we treat our product as a celebrity. But now we have started our one fashion jewelry brand, which is known as PNGS Gargi Fashion Jewelry. And for that purpose, we are using that influencer type marketing strategy. And that really works because they come in the shop, they wear our jewelry there, they create a reels and they post on their social media sites, and there will be followers to them, and that will get more and more awareness about our brand, that fashion jewelry brand to the people, because we are right now earlier known only for the plain gold jewelry and no fashion jewelry was there, but now fashion jewelry also is becoming very much popular. I think it's only a listed company on the exchange which has got product of a fashion jewelry.
as you said, why customer and their families are not used for marketing our own things. We do it, on our own, we do it always. Our opening happens at the hands of our earlier customer, not with the celebrity or anyone. And it gets publicized everywhere in the newspaper and everywhere. So we give the respect to them. Automatically people get connected that 70-year-old woman is opening the shop. That means she must be the very old customer of this brand. And so people get the knowledge about the loyalty and our generation together servicing to the industry. Yes, as you have said, we will definitely try to make out on a public domain basis that family story will get publicized with their experience in their own words, not edited words, in their own words.
Thank you. HAPS, let me come to you. You are delivering, technology for in-store experiences. What do you think is the future of data-driven, experiences in the store? What is your view?
Yeah, see, initially the opportunity is around energy, around giving the basic brand experience inside the store. But what we're seeing is customers who are maturing with us, who are using this platform for 5th, 6th year, they're going further. For example, one of our customers want to measure the amount of that music, decibels that are being relayed. He doesn't want it to be too high, too low, and he wants us to capture that, as a data point as well for them. Similarly, others are saying that, hey, why don't you look at the physical store being run almost autonomously and let my staff, who are basically my interface with my customer, focus their entire energies on giving that experience. He should not be the one who's bothered about looking, whether an equipment is working, not working. His sole purpose is to deliver an outstanding food experience or a retail experience to his consumer. So that's where most people are who are ahead of the curve, trying to use the data from the stores to, deliver little extra, in terms of consumer experience.
So wonderful. I think, why don't you just give some of your thoughts which you have in terms of how beyond the transaction, or we can add new areas of, building customer, from your own experiences, maybe some anecdotes of where you can actually, because you all come from different brand, different categories. Let's have it open and share some insights.
My only advice would be that it's very easy to get flown into the technology thing. There are a lot of vendors, there are a lot of brands doing very good quality technology stuff for any problem which you're trying to solve. And of course, technology, the reason why we implement technology is to get scale much faster than competition, right? But it's equally easy to go wrong. So prioritize your technology requirements, have the right team in place, and make sure that there is either user or customer adoption for the technology. If that's not happening, it's very easy to have almost all your profits get wiped away into just the IT budget or the technology budget. So be very careful when you launch any technology. It has to be a very, very well thought approach, and the implementation and the adoption is equally important. So that's the only advice I would give to anybody.
So I would tend to agree with him, and one thing which is becoming more and more important, and we are having laws coming into place also, is how much of data privacy are you maintaining? Because when we collect first party data, we have a lot of information about the consumers, but there are a lot of firewalls in what can be used and what can't be used. So it's extremely important for us to be very clear about how we use this data, and don't go overboard. Sometimes when you go overboard, actually the customer is very disappointed and dissatisfied with your brand and may not come back to you. So it is very important to maintain that balance. And also, being a fashion brand, we still believe that there is a lot of physical interactions which is required. So when you're dressing up a groom, you can only do so much online. The guy has to come to your store, you have to dress him up, and then he has to see himself in the mirror and feel, hey, I'm looking great, this is what I'm going to buy. So when you're having a 2-3 hour interaction with the person who is buying something for an occasion of his life, it is very important that you are very courteous and very important that he leaves your store having a very good experience. So therefore, that physical interaction is also has to be very, very nice and measured inside the store.
Yeah, I think both these points, also the most important point is technology is a byproduct of what your business objective is, right? Not the other way around. There should not be any FOMO to adopt technology before you really understand what business you're in. As an example, one of the large assignments that I led was for a mattress brand. And mattress, there's really no real loyalty, right? Because you change a mattress minimum 12 years, once in 12 years. So you really need to then look at how do you engage, get testimonials, other things, right? So loyalty doesn't apply to this category. So it's important that you understand the category you're in, what is the stage of business growth you're in, prioritize and link that to clear KPIs from the technology. That's the only way you can really derive ROI, because otherwise it'll just look like an expense.
You know, but just a point came to my mind just now that the modern consumers, especially premium consumers, are very sustainability conscious these days, you know. How are they valuing experience in that quotient of sustainability? Does anyone of you have any experience on that, on the sustainability factor? How does a brand reflect their sustainability quotient, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Today, Gen Z and the new generation that is coming is extremely sustainability conscious. Even the older generations are forced to understand the importance of it, right? So, but it cannot be a force fit. Again, what business you're in, how does it extend itself as a brand? If you're in manufacturing, definitely adopting sustainable practices. So consumers are understanding the importance of that. How do you communicate what you're doing as sustainable practice also is important, right? So all these things add on to the experience you're giving to the consumer, help them become loyal to you. But again, it shouldn't be just for the whistle and the blows and really not real substance. It has to have substance to what you're doing.
Absolutely. You may have something to say on sustainability because you are talking energy saving, right?
Yes. So one of the very interesting projects we're working with the retailer is that, see, on their mobile app, they have the store list. Now they're saying that, can you also plug in data from the IoT system and saying how much of carbon reduction has happened in that store? Is that store the most efficient in their network? And they believe that can drive the consumer behavior to go to that particular store vis-a-vis maybe some other store in their own portfolio. So there's a little linkages they're building between the digital app that they have for merchandise and a little data input coming from a physical store, really connecting the dots for the consumer.
Bishop, you have to say
I'll just like
closing
to add
remarks,
here
sir.
one thing. As far as the digital journey, how we see that, for us it is very empowering because through our app or any digital platform, if we have any feedback, good, bad, ugly, we are actually able to act on that instantly. That's a beautiful thing how we can use that platform. Secondly, to promote any wellness activities like maybe a nutritional program or a yoga or something, we can do it through the digital apps, or through the digital channel. But more importantly, I personally feel with the technology part, you have to be a little cautious. What is good for you, what is not good for you, how much can you spend on that and how much can the bottom line be supported is something very important. In this, we at Wellness follow one simple principle. Anything new in technology, we love to adopt, we love to do, we do to trial that. But we will always do as a pilot project. We will take that learning, we will put it across in 3 or 5 stores, observe it, and in case if it is good, we'll emulate it, take it to the next stage. If not, drop it. So I think the use of technology is very important, but how you use it judiciously is also a very important aspect to that. Thank you.
Thank you. And any questions, because our time is up, but any questions, anything which anybody wants to ask?
I'll just add to the sustainability point briefly. Sustainability per se will not come from technology till the time there is ethos in the organization regarding sustainability. So people have to think about sustainability and then technology will be an enabler as she also mentioned. So it's
a brand has to look at sustainability as part of the customer experience,
yes, as a ethos, as a thought process.
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you. Excellent inputs. I hope it was useful to all of you. Thank you.